Hi there, I'm Rashonda. I'm the creator of this YouTube channel as well as the artbyro.com website where you can find over 250 art and drawing tutorials. In today's lesson, I'm going to be showing you how I draw this lion, which hopefully will inspire you and give you some motivation to create some of your own artwork. So let's go ahead and go on over to the art studio and get started on that drawing. All right, in this tutorial, I'm going to be drawing a lion. Like usual, I'm doing mine on an artist trading card, but of course you can use whatever type and size of paper you want. And we're going to start with some basic shapes. So we want to start with a circle for the head, and then a smaller circle for the nose, the mouth area, the muzzle area. And you might have to play around a little bit with the size for this one, especially like with this where I have a limited frame to work in, because we do need to make sure we leave some room for the mane. That's going to take up a bit of space, so you're going to want to draw these a little bit smaller than maybe what you normally would. We can divide that circle to help with our symmetry and just lining things up. So the next thing is to start adding in the details. So I'm going to start by drawing a nose, kind of a triangle type shape. Make a little line coming down, and then I'll make the part of the mouth there. So hopefully this shows up okay. It's a little bit light because I'm drawing it lighter, but I think it looks like it picks up on the camera okay. So now we're just going to keep working on refining all the little details of our lion. So this is going to follow this circle, and it doesn't have to follow exact, but it just gives us a little bit of a guide, takes some of the pressure off of just starting from nothing. I think it makes it easier. And then the nose is going to come up here. And then for the eyes, we want the eyes, well, depending on how you want your lion to look. I am struggling with the words today. Depending on how you want your lion to look, if you want him to look fiercer, or maybe you want him to look kind of cute and cuddly, the eyes can impact that by quite a bit. So if you want him to look a little more serious, then by angling the eyes, that will help give that feel of that little bit of dominance that lions typically will have. So we're just going to keep working on this. We're going to keep adding details, continue to refine it. So we'll put the eyes in here. And some of these, like the edge of the nose here, those are just helping us visualize how everything's going to fall into place. We're going to change that up a little bit. So you do want to keep your drawing, even at this point, pretty sketchy and light, so that you can make changes as you go. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in the sides of the head. And then for the nose, I want to make some wrinkles, and you don't have to do this. You can leave them just straight, but I want to add a little bit of style to them. So we'll make some lines in here, make it look like his nose is kind of wrinkled up a little bit. And then, of course, we need to start putting in some fur. The ears are going to go up in here somewhere. And then we're going to have some fur coming down. So we want to make a fur texture when we're drawing this part of it. And the same thing over here. This will come all the way around. So we can continue the fur up here, make that have some texture to it, and then continue around in here. And then if you want to add any type of style to it, as far as like some straight lines or something like that, instead of having these rounded, you could have them straight, and that will change the overall look and give it a little bit different style. That's up to you. That's why I like working on artist trading cards, because they're smaller, so you can try some different things out, see how it looks. So down here for the chin, I want to add some fur down here as well. And some of these lines will get erased. And then we want this whole big area around him is going to be the full mane. So we're just going to continue this fur texture coming down, have it come down to sort of a point down here. So I'm drawing the mane nice and big. It's up to you how you want to do yours. And I don't care too much if it goes off the edge of the paper. I'm not going to worry about that. I like to fill this entire card up with my drawing. So other than that, we're just going to add in some extra little details when we do the outlining. But that's pretty much it for the sketch. We could add the pupil in here with the pencil if we want, or we can do that when we do the outlining. So let's go ahead and move on to that. So I'm using an outlining pen. You could use whatever works good for you. And I'm gonna change this nose up a little bit, give it a little bit more shape to it. So I'm literally just going over all of the pencil lines that I made. The ones that I want to keep, I'm ignoring the other ones. You may need to clean your drawing up a little bit. That's going to depend on you personally, how you work, how distracting all those extra lines are. If you find them really distracting, you might want to clean up your lines a little bit before you do the outline. Or maybe you want to do your outline with a color other than black. Or maybe you don't want to do an outline at all. Maybe you want to shade this in. That's up to you. I'm going to be coloring mine in with markers. So part of my process when I create my art is to outline it with black. I like how it looks. And I might change that up at some point. I might get bored with it, who knows. But just do whatever feels right, looks right for you and your style and your art that you're trying to create. So I'm literally just going to go over top of my pencil lines. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'll be back with you when I have that finished. I have the outline all done, and now I'm going to go in and add some color. So what I like to do is pick a couple of different colors for each section. So for example, the eyes, I'm going to use a light blue, and then I have a darker blue that I can go in and add some little bit darker areas And then I like to go back with this lighter color and blend everything together. So I'll do another section. So for the nose, I'm going to put yellow down, and then we'll put some brown over top of it. So I'll fill the whole thing in with yellow, and then I'll add some shadows with the brown. And then I can blend out those edges a little bit. And then I have the smaller one that I could also use and add some shading, add some hatching in there. So this is how I'm going to work on this whole thing. I'm just going to keep following the same process. So I am going to go ahead and do that off camera real quick because that's going to be pretty tedious for you to watch. And then I'll be back when I have that finished. Now that the color is all filled in, the last thing I want to do is use a white Jelly Roll pen and add some highlights. So I want to put a highlight in the eyes, for sure on the nose, and then any areas that could use a little contrast with the white. And I'm not looking at like a light source or anything like that. We could do a couple white whiskers if we wanted. Maybe add a little bit of white here, maybe some in the mane. Wherever you think it might add a little contrast, add a little accent to it. Probably some up here on the nose. And that's it for this lying drawing. It is all done. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you feel inspired to create some of your own artwork. And I will see you in the next video. Happy creating! Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully you feel inspired to create some of your own artwork. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like, and also subscribe if you want to get notified of future videos. But before you leave, check out that description box. There's some goodies in there for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!